I make 50 million yuan a year. But when mom asked how much I earned, I said 4,000. Because my whole family treated me like an ATM. I paid for my parents' annual checkups and supplements. I paid for my older brother's house. I even paid for my second brother's car. But what shocked me was that my parents had secretly saved a 16 million yuan inheritance and split it between my two brothers. 8 million for my oldest brother, 8 million for my second brother. When it was my turn, mom smiled and said, "You're a girl. Once a daughter marries out, she's no longer part of this family, so you won't get anything." I nodded and said nothing. 3 months later, my parents called the three of us home to discuss who would care for them in old age. I calmly replied, "Sorry, who are you? I don't know you." Then I walked straight out. Once you've thrown your daughter away, you don't get to call her back. I'd known since childhood that my parents didn't like me. Everything good in the house went to my brothers. I got used to giving in and being ignored. I thought if I was good enough, I could earn even a little of their love. I thought more than 20 years of sacrifice would eventually soften their hearts. But that 16 million was like a mirror, exposing the lie I'd told myself for over 20 years. I wasn't their daughter. I was just a tool they could sacrifice or discard whenever they wanted. In their hearts, I'd never truly belonged to this family. I opened my contacts and dialed a number. It was my lawyer, Mr. Zhao. "Mr. Zhao, about what I asked you before, I've decided to go through with it." Mr. Zhao worked fast. By the next afternoon, his email was already in my inbox. I opened the preliminary asset report on Shen Deho and Wang Guilan. My dear parents were far richer than I'd imagined. Besides the home they lived in, they owned 4 city apartments, an old property awaiting redevelopment, plus savings and investments. Over 30 million yuan in total. 30 million. Mom, you really had me fooled. I closed the email, sent Mr. Zhao his first payment, and added one line. Proceed as planned. For the next few days, I worked, stayed late, and ate my usual 15 yuan takeout. But on Friday afternoon, I took half a day off and went to the bank. By the time I finished, it was already dark. Outside the bank, I spotted a boba shop across the street and suddenly wanted a drink. I walked to the counter, stared at the packed menu, and realized I had no idea what to order. I usually just copied my coworkers and drank whatever they picked. "What can I get you?" I looked at the first featured drink and said, "I'll take that one." I headed home with my boba. At the entrance to my apartment complex, I saw a familiar figure in the distance. My mother, scanning the street under a lamp. Her eyes lit up when she saw me, and she hurried over. "Xiaodi, I've been waiting forever. Why couldn't I reach you?" She grabbed my arm. "Come home with me. Your father said we'll pretend that day never happened. Your brothers agreed too. We're still a family." I looked at the hand gripping my arm. It was rough and calloused. The hand that had washed clothes and cooked meals for 30 years, raising 3 children. "Mom, how did you get here?" "By bus. I had to transfer 3 times. She gave me a nervous, flattering smile. "Your father wanted to come too, but I said no. His blood pressure is high. He can't get upset. And yours isn't high?" She froze for a second. "I'm fine. Does your leg hurt?" "Oh no, it stopped hurting long ago." "Mom, your leg pain is chronic. Last winter you couldn't get out of bed. I took 3 days off and carried you to physical therapy every day. Did you forget? That was a long time ago. So you came today because you want me to go back?" "Yes. Your father said if you come home, we'll forget everything. We'll even give you 500 yuan a month for spending money." Your brothers agreed. I laughed. 500 a month, 6,000 a year, 180,000 over 30 years. Barely loose change compared with 16 million. "Mom, let me ask you something." "Go ahead." "During my 4 years at college, I sent money home every month. Do you remember?" Mom's expression stiffened. "Freshman year, I tutored and made 800 a month. I kept 300 and sent home 500. Sophomore year, I worked 2 tutoring jobs, made 2,500 and sent home 800. Junior and senior year, I interned and worked on the side. I never missed a month. By graduation, I'd sent you more than 38,000 yuan. Mom, where did that 38,000 go? Did you use it to buy my oldest brother's car?" She said nothing. "His used car cost 42,000, and you and Dad paid 30,000, right? How did you know?" I guessed. "Mom, I'm not stupid. I just chose not to say anything. That's all in the past. Why bring it up? Your father said if you come back." Before she could finish, I cut her off. "Mom, I'm not going back." She froze. "Go home. It's dark, and the roads aren't easy." I stepped around her and walked into the complex. Behind me, she shouted, "Shen Xiaodi, are you trying to kill your parents? Do you want everyone calling you an ungrateful daughter?" I stopped and turned around. "Mom, do you know what I've feared most my whole life?" Her body trembled slightly, but she said nothing. "I've always feared being judged as a disgrace. So I studied harder, behaved better, and did everything for you. I wanted to prove a daughter wasn't a burden, that she could earn money and care for her parents, too." I slowly walked back toward her. "But Mom, after 26 years, what did I prove? 16 million sat right there, and you wouldn't give me even 10,000. You just said, 'You're a girl.' Do you know how that felt?" My whole life suddenly felt like a joke. I turned toward the complex and didn't look back this time. Back home, I stood at the window. Mom stayed beneath the streetlight for a long time before slowly walking toward the bus stop. Watching her from behind reminded me of childhood, when she'd walk me to school. Back then, she looked tall and safe. Now she looked so small and thin. Then my phone rang. It was my oldest brother. "Xiaodi, Mom went to see you." "Yeah. Where is she?" "She just left for the bus stop." The line went silent for a moment. "Xiaodi, you know Mom's legs are bad. You let her take the bus home alone?" "I know." "Then why did you let her leave by herself?" "She took the bus here by herself, too." He had no answer. "Brother, this is the last time I'll call you that. Remember today and remember what you just asked me. Don't call again." I hung up and blocked his number. The next day was Saturday. I slept in, bought a fish at the market, and braised it for lunch. I was eating when the doorbell suddenly rang. When I learned my father had terminal cancer, I booked an overseas trip without looking back. but Mom stopped me at the airport. Xiaodi, please save your father. He's your real dad. Are you really going to stand there and let him die? I refused without hesitation. I don't have money. Then I turned and picked up an expensive handbag. Mom stared in shock, then burst into tears. She rushed over, dropped to her knees, and repeatedly bowed her head to the floor. Please, I'm begging you, isn't that enough? I'll bow to you. I'll do anything. She struck her forehead against the floor until it split open. I felt nothing. Not because I was cruel, but because they had never treated me like their own daughter. 6 months earlier, my parents had split a 16 million yuan inheritance between my brothers, 8 million each. When it was my turn, Mom smiled and said, "You're a girl. Once you marry, you belong to another family, so you get nothing." I nodded and said nothing. 3 months later, my parents called the three of us home to discuss their retirement care. I calmly replied, "Sorry, who are you? I don't know you." Then I walked out. Once you've thrown your daughter away, you don't get her back. Back at my rental, I called my lawyer, Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao, about what I asked you before. I've decided to do it. But the next day, my second brother showed up. I ignored the door and kept eating fish. The bell rang again and again until my neighbor opened her door. "Who is it? Why are you ringing doorbells at noon?" "I'm looking for my sister." "Your sister lives here?" "Yes, Shen Zhaodi." The neighbor came to my door and knocked. "Xiaoshen, your brother is here." I reluctantly put down my chopsticks and opened the door. My second brother stood there looking exhausted. "Zhaodi, we need to talk." "About what?" "Let's go inside first." I stepped aside. The room was tiny enough to take in at a glance. He looked around, then sat on the edge of the bed. "You've been living pretty rough." "It's fine, not that rough." "How much is the rent?" 3,800. That's expensive. "It's near the Second Ring Road. That's normal here." He fell silent for a moment, then said, "Xiaodi, neither of us has touched the 16 million. That money feels dirty now." So I thought maybe the three of us could split it. One share for you, one for me and our oldest brother. It wouldn't be equal per person, but at least... I cut him off. "Let me ask you one thing." "Go ahead." "Did Mom and Dad offer you the 16 million or did you ask for it?" He answered honestly, they offered it. That day, Mom called you both home and said, 8 million for the oldest, 8 million for the second, nothing for me. What did either of you say? The room was so quiet I could hear the wall clock ticking. He lowered his head. I couldn't see his face, only his hands clenched together. You said nothing. You both sat there, listened to Mom, nodded, and took the money. I walked to the window with my back to him. Do you know what I was waiting for that day? I waited for you or our oldest brother to say just one thing. "Mom, this isn't fair." Just one sentence. When I finished, his voice came from behind me. "Zhaodi, Don't. Some words mean nothing once it's too late." He stood and walked up behind me. "Xiaodi, there's actually another reason I came." He looked into my eyes with an expression I'd never seen before. "What is it?" He opened his mouth, closed it, and tried several times. Finally, as if forcing himself, he lowered his voice. "Mom didn't just send me to persuade you to come home. She also told me to..." Before he could finish, his phone rang. He glanced at the screen and his face changed instantly. "Who is it?" He didn't answer and hung up, but I'd already seen the name flashing on the screen. Zhang Wen, the woman carrying his child. I didn't expose him. I waited for him to continue. Instead, he shoved the phone into his pocket and took a step back. "It's nothing, I should go." I watched his stiff back and asked, "What else did Mom tell you to do?" He stayed silent for a few seconds, then opened the door. "Zhaodi, be careful these next few days." Then he left. I stood there listening as his hurried footsteps disappeared down the hallway. Sunlight poured through the window and warmed the floor, yet I suddenly felt cold. "Be careful? Careful of what?" I looked down from the window. Soon, my brother rushed out, pulled out his phone, and made a call under a roadside tree. He looked up and met my eyes, froze, quickly lowered his head, then jumped into a taxi and left. My phone buzzed with a message from Mr. Zhao. He'd learned that my oldest brother was preparing something, though he was still investigating what. He warned me to stay safe and call any time. I stared at the message, then at the bare tree outside. My heart jumped into my throat. "Stay safe. Be careful." What were they hiding from me? The following days were eerily normal. I worked, stayed late, and ate takeout as usual. But every night I spent an hour reading files from Mr. Zhao, including a transcript of a recording. The recording came from a dinner at my oldest brother's house. My sister-in-law had accidentally recorded Mom talking. She'd invited Mom over and even made braised pork. The background audio was clear. Mom was speaking. "We raised Zhaodi for nothing. I traveled all that way and she wouldn't even let me inside. Then she brought up the 38,000 she sent home during college. So what? Was that enough to raise her? Don't be angry. Zhaodi's just upset right now. She's only 26 and hot-headed. She'll calm down in a couple of years. What's there to be upset about? Money goes to sons. That's just how it works. She's only a daughter. We'll even have to pay for her wedding someday, and I haven't asked her for a cent back. She's still not satisfied. By the way, how are things with Jianming? They've been married 3 years and Xiaoyan still isn't pregnant. Mom, stop pressuring them. It'll happen when it happens. How can I not pressure them? Jianming is 30. If they don't have a child now, when will they? Your boy is already 5. Xiaoyan's been married 3 years and hasn't produced anything. Mom, don't ever let Xiaoyan hear you say that. But Mom couldn't care less. I'd say it to her face. What's the point of marrying a woman if she won't have children? Mr. Zhao later recovered the recording from our family group chat. My sister-in-law had posted it by accident and quickly deleted it, but he restored it. I listened to it again and again until my phone rang. It was an unknown number from my hometown. Is this Shen Zhaodi? Yes, who is this? Zhaodi, it's your second aunt. Something happened to your parents, haven't you heard? I gripped the phone and said nothing. Zhaodi, are you still there? Auntie, what happened? Your father had a brain hemorrhage and was rushed to the hospital last night. He's still in intensive care. Your mother collapsed from the stress and can't get out of bed. Come home now. I stood at the window, staring at the tree downstairs, silent for a long time. Zhaodi, did you hear me? Your father's in the hospital. I heard you. Then when are you coming back? Do you think I should? Don't talk nonsense. That's your biological father. Do you know what happened 3 months ago? What happened? Mom gave 16 million yuan to my 2 brothers and nothing to me because I'm a girl who'll belong to another family. Your dad's own sister. Tell me, did he ever treat me like his real daughter? Zhaodi, your father has old-fashioned beliefs. He thinks sons carry on the family name and daughters eventually belong elsewhere. He was wrong and I told him so. But he's in the hospital now. You can't just... Auntie, answer one question. If I were the one in the hospital, would Dad come see me? She went silent for a long time. No, he'd say a girl isn't that precious. Then tell my brothers this. If the medical bills are short, they can contact me. I'll pay, but I won't go back. She tried to say more, but I hung up and blocked the number. Autumn came, and the weather cooled. I spent an afternoon at the mall, buying boots, a scarf, and skincare. Everything I'd always denied myself. That evening, I found more than 20 missed calls from unknown numbers and several messages. Shen Zhaodi, your father is dying and you still won't come home. Do you have any conscience? It was probably one of my brothers using someone else's phone. Zhaodi, it's Mom. Your father wants to see you one last time. Please come back. I'm begging you. That number was unfamiliar too. Shen Zhaodi, it's your aunt. Your father's first words after waking were, "Where's Zhaodi? Come home. Don't let him die with regrets." I read every message and put down my phone. The next morning, during a company meeting, my phone buzzed. It was Mr. Zhao, so I quietly stepped out to answer. Ms. Shen, I've checked your father's condition. He's out of danger and under observation in a regular ward. Your mother is fine, just overwhelmed. Also, the matter you entrusted to me is ready. Every document is prepared, and we can begin anytime. I was silent for a moment. Mr. Zhao, wait a little longer. Wait for what? Wait until my father is discharged. Are you sure? Yes, I don't want anyone saying I attacked him while he was sick. Understood. I hung up and returned to the meeting. In early December, Dad was discharged. My aunt sent the news from someone else's phone. Your father is home recovering. Your mother says not to worry. A few days later, my aunt sent another message. Zhaodi, your parents want you to come home. They have something to discuss. I stared at the message, then called Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao, start the process. Saturday morning, I took a taxi to my parents' home. From downstairs, I stared at the familiar open window as the smell of cooking drifted out. My oldest brother's wife opened the door. She froze when she saw me, then turned and called inside. Mom, Zhaodi's back. Dad sat on the couch with bandages around his head, looking pale. Mom sat beside him with swollen eyes. My oldest brother held his phone across the room. My second brother and his wife were there too, and she nodded at me. My aunt poked her head out of the kitchen. Zhaodi, you're here. I'm cooking. Stay for lunch. Zhaodi! Mom stood and reached for my hand. I stepped back. Mom, don't touch me! Her hand froze in midair, and the room went silent. Dad's face darkened. Sit down. We need to talk. I stayed standing. Dad, Mom, why did you call me here? Mom glanced at Dad. Then she said, Zhaodi, we asked you here because there's something we need to discuss. What is it? It's about the money. Your father's hospital stay cost a lot, and we thought maybe the 16 million should what? My oldest brother cut in. Zhaodi, we talked it over. We think you should receive a share of the 16 million after all. How much? 3 million yuan. I laughed and looked at Mom. How generous of you. Are you giving me this because you finally wanted to, or because Dad got sick and suddenly you need me? Mom had no answer. Did your conscience finally wake up? Or are you afraid I won't support you when you're old? Shen Zhaodi! Dad roared. How dare you speak to your mother like that? Dad, relax. I haven't even asked you yet. How much did the hospital bill cost? He froze. A little over 100,000. Who paid it? Your brothers, of course. Was that split evenly between you two? My oldest brother's expression shifted. Yes, we split it. And did that money come from the 8 million you each received? He froze, lowered his head, and said nothing. I smiled. Dad, Mom, look at your wonderful sons. They used part of the money you gave them to cover your medical bills, and now you call them devoted. I sent money home every month for 8 years, from 18 to 26, and you called it my duty. I stayed beside your hospital beds countless times, and that was my duty too. Now you offer me 3 million and expect me to fall at your feet in gratitude. I took a folder from my bag and placed it on the coffee table. Dad, Mom, I brought something for you to see too. Mom stared at the folder. What is that? Some documents. I opened the folder as I spoke. This is a full list of your assets. 4 properties, 1 redevelopment lot, and more than 30 million yuan in savings and investments. Dad's face changed instantly. Shen Zhaodi, you investigated us. You actually investigated us. Yes. The 16 million you gave them came from that 30 million. What were you saving the rest for? Their children, your retirement. Did it ever occur to you that I deserved a share too? Zhaodi, that's our lifetime savings. We can divide it however we want. Your oldest brother is 35 with a 5-year-old child and heavy expenses. Your second brother is 30 and will need even more once he has children. What does a girl need that much money for? Mom, you're right. It's your money and you can divide it however you want. I didn't come to fight for it. I came to tell you something. I pulled out another document. These are the records of every payment I've sent this family. I sent home 143,600 yuan. I also paid 120,000 toward my oldest brother's home, my second brother's wedding, and your medical bills. That's 263,600 yuan total. I placed the document on the table. I'm not asking for it back. Consider it repayment for the 26 years you raised me. Then I took out one final document. My lawyer drafted this. It's simple. From today on, I sever all ties with Shen Deho, Wang Guilan, Shen Jianhui, and Shen Jianming. Your illness and finances are no longer my responsibility, and I give up any inheritance rights. I placed it on top of the stack. Read it. If you have no objections, sign it. Dad's face turned crimson and his whole body shook. You ungrateful daughter. Dad, don't get worked up. You just left the hospital. With your blood pressure, you might burst another vessel. Zhaodi, you can't do this. We gave birth to you and raised you. You can't just cut us off. Mom, didn't you say a married daughter belongs to another family? If you've already thrown me out, why drag me back? Mom froze. Mom, do you know what I feared most? Being a burden to you. So I studied, worked, and sent money home. I was terrified you'd think raising a daughter was a bad investment. But for 26 years, I never once felt like I belonged here. At dinner, the best food went to my brothers. They got new clothes while I wore my cousin's hand-me-downs. At New Year, they got 100 yuan and I got 20. I never asked why because I knew it was pointless. I kept telling myself things would change once I grew up and earned money. I paused, then continued. But nothing changed. When I earned money, you called it my duty. When I sent money home or helped my brothers, you called it my duty. Then 16 million appeared, and you wouldn't spare me even 10,000. Mom, what was I supposed to do to make you see me as your daughter? Mom broke down crying. Zhaodi, I was wrong, I'm sorry. She sobbed uncontrollably, but I felt nothing. Mom, don't cry. I don't blame you. This is who you are and you won't change. Sign it. Once you do, we're even. Dad struggled to his feet. I won't sign. I'd rather die. You're my daughter and you'll always be my daughter. Dad, have you ever held me? You carried my brothers every day when they were little. But with me, you said girls become spoiled if you coddle them. Do you know what it feels like to be rejected by your own father? I left the papers on the coffee table. Take your time. Once you sign, have Mr. Zhao contact me. If you don't, we'll pretend today never happened. I turned and headed for the door.
Zhaodi!
Mom screamed behind me. I stopped and turned. Anything else, Mom? Are you really abandoning us? I looked at her tears and realized she had never cried for me once in 26 years. When my oldest brother was sick, she sobbed like the world was ending. When my second brother broke his leg, she cried all night. But when I was sick, she said medicine would fix it. When I was hurt, she called me dramatic. Now she was crying. But for me, or for herself? Mom, stop crying. Without me as your daughter, you'll have one less burden to worry about. Then I kept walking. Oh, and Mom, I heard everything you said that day. She froze. What did I say? What you said at my oldest brother's house, including what you said about my second sister-in-law not having children. Mom's face turned white. My second sister-in-law's expression changed too. Mom, you were right. Raising me did cost you, but what you lost wasn't money. You lost your daughter. On my way downstairs, I ran into my aunt. She looked like she wanted to say something. Don't try to talk me out of it, it won't work. Zhaodi, are you absolutely sure? I am. What will you do now? Live my own life. I've spent 26 years living for everyone else. Now I want to try living for myself. Outside, warm sunlight settled over me. Then my phone rang. It was Mr. Zhao. Miss Shen, how did it go? I left the papers with them. Now we wait. You really think they'll sign? They will. They never saw me as one of them. If I'm already an outsider, what difference does a signature make? After hanging up, I walked toward the bus stop. Just as I reached the intersection, my second brother texted, Zhaodi, we've all signed the agreement. Take care of yourself. That night, I cooked myself a nice dinner and opened a bottle of wine to celebrate. Halfway through my glass, my phone rang from an unknown number. Is this Shen Zhaodi? Yes, who is this? Zhaodi, it's your second uncle. Uncle, what do you need? Your mother just called me in tears. She said you cut ties with the family. Is that true? It's true. Zhaodi, I know you're hurt, but that's just how your mother is. Why take it so personally? I'm not being petty. I'm exhausted. Exhausted by what? Families fight and move on. Listen to me, call your mother, apologize, and let this blow over. I couldn't help laughing. Uncle, do you even know what happened before telling me to apologize? It doesn't matter what happened. She's your mother and you're her daughter. What's wrong with you apologizing? She gave 16 million yuan to my brothers and nothing to me because I'm a girl who will belong elsewhere. I've sent money home for 8 years, cared for them in hospitals, and handled every problem. Yet from 16 million, I got 0. What exactly am I apologizing for? If you're calling to change my mind, save your breath. I'm hanging up. He hurriedly stopped me. Wait, Zhaodi. Your mother has her reasons. Your oldest brother has a child starting school and your second brother doesn't have children yet, which worries her. She believes sons carry on the family and daughters are outsiders. That's her flaw, not yours. But you still can't cut them off. How is she supposed to face people now? How she faces people is her problem. How I live is mine. Don't call again. Thank you. I hung up and blocked his number too. After finishing the wine, I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Then my phone lit up with a text. Ms. Shen Zhaodi, our law firm represents Mr. Shen Jianhui regarding your parents' support. Contact us within 3 days, or we will pursue legal action for abandonment. I stared at the message for a long time, then called Mr. Zhao. Mr. Zhao, I need to tell you something. Go ahead. I told him about the message. After a few seconds of silence, he said, Ms. Shen, you have the severance agreement signed by everyone. Legally, you no longer have ties to them. They won't win this case. Then let them sue. I want to see what the court says. Early the next morning, I received a friend request from an unfamiliar woman. Her note said only, Hello, Shen Zhaodi. I'm your second sister-in-law's younger sister. I need to talk to you. I'd never met her. After hesitating, I accepted. She messaged immediately. Hello, Shen Zhaodi. I'm Lin Xiao, Lin Yan's younger sister. Sorry to bother you this late. What is it? There's something you should know about your second brother and my sister. What happened? Your brother is having an affair. I know you may not believe me, but I have proof. She sent several screenshots. I found them on my sister's phone. He's been seeing another woman for 6 months, and there are hotel records. I opened each screenshot. It was his account, flirting with a woman saved as baby. The dates, locations, and hotel names were all there. Thanks for telling me, but what does this have to do with me? He's your brother. Not anymore. I cut ties with them and the agreement is signed. I can't help your sister. I'm not asking for help, I just thought you should know. She sent a sighing emoji. Never mind, sorry to bother you. I put down my phone and looked outside. I'd known about my brother's affair for a long time. Then someone suddenly knocked at the door. When I opened it, a man and woman in uniform stood outside with ID badges on their chests. Are you Miss Shen Zhaodi? Yes. We're from the Labor Dispute Arbitration Committee. Someone reported serious workplace misconduct, and we need your cooperation with an investigation. What kind of misconduct? An anonymous report claims you abused your position to take kickbacks from a client. This is the investigation notice. Please sign for receipt. I stared at the paper as my head buzzed. Can I ask who reported me? It was anonymous. We aren't authorized to disclose that. After signing, I leaned against the door, my heart pounding. Then my phone rang. It was my supervisor. Xiao Shen, don't come to work today. The company was notified that you're under investigation for financial misconduct. You're suspended pending the inquiry. I didn't do anything. I know, but we have to follow procedure. Stay home and wait for updates. After hanging up, I sat on the couch staring at the notice. Kickbacks? I'd never taken any. Then my phone rang again. This time, it was Mr. Zhao. Ms. Shen, I heard you were reported. How did you know? I know someone at labor arbitration. The report is extremely detailed, with exact dates, locations, and amounts. It doesn't look like a random accusation. Mr. Zhao, I didn't do it. I know, but they claim to have evidence. It may be forged, but you'll be at a disadvantage during the investigation. Who would do this? Mr. Zhao paused. Think about who you've angered recently. A thought suddenly flashed through my mind. Mr. Zhao, my parents said they'd sue me for abandonment. Has the case been filed? Not yet. The court just received the complaint and is still reviewing it. So are they smearing me to influence the case or trying to force me to surrender before it begins? I understand now. After the call, I tried to rest, but the doorbell rang again. It was a courier. Inside the package was a letter with only one line. Cancel the severance agreement and pay your parents' monthly support, or next time you won't get off with a suspension. I studied the printed message. There was no name or fingerprint. I photographed it and sent it to Mr. Zhao, who called immediately. After hearing everything, he said it was a textbook threat. The letter didn't name the sender, but given my case, the target was obvious. Ms. Shen, you can't let this slide. You need to show them you're not an easy target. How do I do that? I'll handle the labor case. Forged evidence won't survive scrutiny, and you should be reinstated within a month. I'll also trace the letter. Once we identify the sender, we can pursue them for intimidation. Even a short detention will show them you won't be bullied. I told Mr. Zhao to proceed. Sitting alone afterward, I grew angrier by the minute and called my oldest brother. It rang for a long time before he answered. Who is this? It's me. I received the letter you sent. What letter? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's stop pretending. You're 35, married, and have a child. Can you think about the consequences before doing something stupid? I honestly don't know what you mean. Fine. Then tell mom and dad to use every trick they have. We'll see whether they have more schemes or I have more fight left in me. After 8 that evening, the doorbell rang again. Through the peephole, I saw my second sister-in-law. Her eyes were swollen and red. She'd clearly been crying. Zhaodi, can I come in and talk? I opened the door and let her sit down. She kept her head lowered and stayed silent for a long time. What happened? Zhaodi, I don't know what else to do. Your second brother is seeing another woman. I know, I've known for a long time. She covered her face and started crying. I've been married into your family for 3 years. Your mother pressures me for a baby every day. I want one too, but your brother won't even touch me. I asked if he was cheating. He denied it and called me paranoid. Then I checked his phone and learned they've been together for 6 months. You want me to help you? I didn't know who else to turn to. I can't tell my parents because they'd worry. Your older brother and his wife always side with your mom, so talking to them is pointless. My little sister is too young to understand any of this. After thinking it over, you're the only person I could come to. Sis, I've already cut ties with that family. I know. But Zhaodi, you're the only one brave enough to stand up to them. Sis, there's something I'm not sure I should say. It's okay, say it. You're only 30. You have no kids, you have a job, and you're attractive. Why waste your life in that house? Your husband and mother-in-law look down on you, and your father-in-law ignores you. Divorce is hard, but you still have decades ahead. Is this how you want to spend them? Just as my sister-in-law was about to answer, footsteps sounded outside, followed by a knock on the door. Zhaodi, open the door! It was my second brother. My sister-in-law panicked and jumped up, looking around for somewhere to hide. I held her back and opened the door. My brother stood there furious. The second he saw her inside, his eyes went red. He stormed in and grabbed her arm. Come on, you're going home with me. Let go. Shen Zhaodi, stay out of our family business. I picked up my phone. You have 3 seconds to let go or I'm calling the police. He released her but kept glaring at me. Wow, Shen Zhaodi, so you're turning my wife against me now? Your wife came to me because she can't survive in your house anymore. You're cheating on her, your mom pressures her for a baby every day, and you've never once cared what she's going through. What the hell are you talking about? You think I'm making it up? I have your hotel records. Want me to read them out right now? His face instantly went pale. How did you know? How I found out doesn't matter. What matters is that your wife is here. If she chooses to go home, that's her decision. If she doesn't, you're not taking her anywhere. Lin Yan, are you coming home or not? My sister-in-law looked up, her face covered in tears. Shen Jianming, answer one question. How long have you been seeing that woman? When he stayed silent, she already had her answer. She wiped away her tears and stood up. Zhaodi, thank you. I'm going home now.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Some things need a final answer. I stood inside, listening as their footsteps faded down the stairs. Then my phone buzzed with a message from Attorney Zhao. Ms. Shen, we traced the package. It was mailed near your family's home, and the post office camera caught your oldest brother sending it, just as I suspected. Attorney Zhao, what do we do next? We have the evidence. If you want to press charges, you can report it tomorrow. Threatening and intimidating you could land him in serious trouble. Let me think about it. After the call, I stood by the window looking into the night. A moment later, my phone lit up with a text. Ms. Shen Zhaodi, I'm your mother's doctor. She suffered sudden chest pain this afternoon and has been admitted to the hospital. She keeps calling your name. Could you come see her? I stared at the text, my finger frozen over the screen. Was it real or another trap? Right then, Attorney Zhao called. Ms. Shen, I just heard your mother was hospitalized. Both your brothers are there. Do you want to go see her? Do you think it's real or fake? I checked with the hospital. The admission record is real. How serious her condition is, though, I can't say. If I don't go, will they use that against me in court? Yes. They'll call you heartless and say you abandoned your sick parents. Legally, you have that agreement, but publicly, it could put you in a bad position. And if I go, they might corner you. What if they pressure you to sign something or pay the medical bills? I closed my eyes. Go or stay? The wind rattled the windows. I took a deep breath. Attorney Zhao, I'll go, but on one condition. What condition? You come with me. The next day, Attorney Zhao and I went to the hospital. My mother was on the 9th floor in cardiology. When the elevator opened, the hallway was silent. The nurse at the station glanced up at us, then looked back down. I stopped outside the room and looked through the glass. My mother lay in bed, pale, with an IV in her hand. My father sat beside her. My oldest brother was on the phone by the window, while his wife scrolled on her phone in the corner. I pushed open the door and everyone looked up. When my mother saw me, her eyes lit up and she struggled to sit. Zhaodi, you came. My oldest brother's wife stood too, wearing a smile that looked painfully fake. Zhaodi, you're here. Sit down, sit down. I didn't sit or move. Mom, how are you feeling? I'm fine, Zhaodi, I just missed you. I'm so happy you came. I looked at her face. I'd known it for 26 years. Every wrinkle familiar, yet in that moment she felt like a stranger. What did the doctor say? They said there may be a problem with my heart, so I need a few days of observation. Zhaodi, being sick made me think about everything. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have treated you that way. Can you forgive me? When she finished, my father walked over and stared at me. Your mother is in this condition and you can't even say something? Dad, what do you want me to say? Say you don't blame her. Say you forgive her. Would you believe me if I did? My father froze. Then my oldest brother came over and patted my shoulder. Zhaodi, Mom is already like this. Let the past go. We're family. What could possibly be unforgivable? That same hand mailed me a threat just 2 days ago. Big brother, did you wash your hands? What? I said nothing, stepped back and avoided his hand. Mom, do you have enough for the hospital bills? Technically, yes, but what? She hesitated. The hospital is expensive, several thousand yuan a day. Your brothers are both short on cash, so maybe you could... Mom, is that why you called me here? No, I really missed you. And maybe, while you're here, ask me for money. My father immediately lost his temper.
Shen Zhaodi, your mother is in the hospital and after 2 questions, all you can talk about is money? Do you have no conscience?
Dad, you know perfectly well whether I have a conscience. I make 8,000 a month and gave this family 2,000 every month for 8 years. Big brother makes over 20,000. Has he ever given you a cent? Second brother makes 15,000. Has he? And now you want to lecture me about conscience? Zhaodi, don't be angry. Dad didn't mean it like that. We'll cover Mom's bills. You don't need to worry. She's just happy you came. Big brother, I received the letter you mailed me 2 days ago. His expression changed instantly. What letter? I don't know anything about it. I pulled the surveillance photo from my bag. Then who's this? The camera caught you clearly. Still pretending? He stared at the photo, his face shifting from red to white. My father looked from him to me. What letter? What are you talking about? I handed him the photo. Dad, your oldest son mailed me a threatening letter. He demanded I cancel the agreement and resume support payments, or next time I'd face worse than a suspension. Jianhui, did you do this? My brother lowered his head in silence and my mother panicked. Zhaodi, your brother had no choice. He didn't mean it. You were being so cold, he only wanted to scare you a little. Mom, you knew? You knew your son threatened me, then faked being sick to lure me here. Also, I'd pay your hospital bill? No, that's not true. I really am sick. The doctor can prove it.
Mom, do you know threatening someone can get you detained? If I report him, your precious oldest son could spend several days in custody.
Shen Zhaodi, don't you dare. You really think I won't? Zhaodi, your brother was wrong. I'll make him apologize. Don't call the police. We're family. Don't take it that far. Dad, do you know what I hate most? You never treated me like a person. As a child, I did the chores and always gave way to my brothers. As an adult, I paid you and worked myself to the bone. I accepted it all. But after splitting 16 million yuan, you still want me back as your ATM. Tell me, what do I owe you? Zhaodi, I was wrong. I truly was. Please forgive me this once. I watched her tears without feeling a thing. Mom, stop crying. You've used that trick on me for 26 years. It doesn't work anymore. With that, I turned to leave. My mother shouted after me. Zhaodi, you're really leaving? Your mother is still sick. I stopped and looked back. Mom, you know whether you're truly sick or pretending. I believe the doctor found a heart issue, but it won't cost much. Your 2 sons each received 8 million yuan. Either one can easily pay until you're discharged. I won't report Big Brother's threat for now. But remember, this isn't over. I'll see all of you in court. I opened the door and left. As Attorney Zhao and I waited for the elevator, the door suddenly opened and my sister-in-law was inside. She froze when she saw me, then hurried out and grabbed my hand. Zhaodi, wait. Sis, what's wrong? She looked around and lowered her voice. Zhaodi, I need to tell you something important. Seeing this, Attorney Zhao stepped into the elevator first. I'll wait downstairs. My sister-in-law pulled me into the stairwell and waited until no one was around before speaking. Zhaodi, your mom is faking this illness. I know, but there's something else you don't know. What? It was your second brother's idea. He's been with that woman for a year and she's over 3 months pregnant. He wants to divorce me and marry her but is too scared to tell your mom. So he told her to fake being sick and lure you here, hoping you'd reconcile and go easier on them in court. They're terrified of losing and of you truly walking away. How did you find out? I overheard him. He thought I was asleep while he was on the phone on the balcony. I heard everything. So what are you going to do now? She stayed silent for a long time, then looked up. Zhaodi, I want a divorce. I wasn't surprised at all. You're sure? I'm sure. You were right. I'm only 30, I have a job and I can support myself. Why should I keep wasting my life in that house? Did you know what your sister told me? Yes, I was the one who asked her to tell you about the pregnancy. I froze and asked her why. Because I wanted you to know there isn't one decent person in that family. Your parents favor sons, your oldest brother is calculating, and your second brother is a scumbag. Leaving them was the right choice.
Thank you for telling me.
No, thank you. Thank you for listening to me that night and reminding me I still had another path. Sis, if you divorce him and need anything, call me. She nodded and wiped her eyes. You should go. Your lawyer is still waiting downstairs. I headed down, but after a few steps I looked back. She stood alone in the stairwell, small and thin, staring at the floor, lost in thought. Take care, sis, she smiled, the expression both bitter and relieved. You too. After I returned to my apartment, Lin Xiao called. Shen Zhaodi, my sister, just called. She's decided to get divorced. Thank you. Don't thank me. It was her decision. There's one more thing I think you should know. What is it? I know the woman who's pregnant with your brother's child. Who is she? She's my boss's daughter. She met your brother when he came to our company for business. Her father said that if he doesn't divorce and marry her, he'll make sure your brother can never work in this industry again. I leaned back on the couch and closed my eyes. Second brother. You took 8 million and thought your life was perfect. But you never realized the hole you dug for yourself was far deeper than mine. My phone buzzed again with a text from an unknown number. Shen Zhaodi, I'm your second brother's boss. I'd like to meet tomorrow at 3 p.m. There's something we need to discuss. As I read the message, a slow smile spread across my face. The real show was just beginning. At 2:30 the next afternoon, I arrived at the cafe. At 2:50, a middle-aged man walked in, his watch flashing under the lights. He scanned the room, came over, and held out his hand. I'm Zhang Hongwei. I stood and shook his hand. Miss Shen, I'll get straight to the point. You know about your second brother, right? A little. How much? I know he got your daughter pregnant, and you want him to divorce his wife and marry her. You're certainly direct. Mr. Zhang, why did you ask to see me? I need you to do me a favor. What favor? Convince your brother to divorce and marry my daughter. Mr. Zhang, I've cut all ties with Shen Jianming. Didn't you know that? I did. That's exactly why I came to you. I don't understand. Ms. Shen, I know your brother. He's weak, selfish, greedy, and cowardly. He got my daughter pregnant and promised to marry her, but he's too scared to tell his mother. Your mom chose his wife and will explode if he divorces. He's afraid of both sides. My daughter says she'll hurt herself if he won't leave his wife. I can't let that happen. So you want me to persuade Shen Jianming? Not persuade him, pressure him. How? I heard about the lawsuit. Your parents accused you of abandonment and want support payments. If you win, your brother will know you're not someone he can push around. Once he realizes your parents can't save him, he won't dare keep stalling. Mr. Zhang, you're using me. We're using each other. You win your case, I solve my problem. We both get what we need. I thought for a moment. Mr. Zhang, your company signed an employment contract with Shen Jianming, correct? Correct. If I need the documents from when he joined the company, can you give them to me? Why do you need them? If I'm asking, I have a reason. I'll give them to you, but before the hearing, you have to speak to your brother once. About what? Tell him that if he doesn't divorce soon, you have evidence that can ruin him. Don't say what it is. Just scare him. You're that sure he'll listen to me, because he's afraid of you. Last night, he told my daughter his sister wasn't easy to mess with and had uncovered all his secrets. Right now, you're the person he fears most. I froze. My second brother was afraid of me? The same brother who had stolen my things and bullied me my entire childhood was actually afraid of me. Fine, I agree. Zhang Hongwei took a business card from his wallet and handed it to me. This is my number. I'll have the documents prepared. You can collect them anytime. One more question, Mr. Zhang. Does your daughter know you came to see me? He smiled. No, but once she finds out, she'll thank me. After Zhang Hongwei left, I called my second brother. The phone rang for a long time before he answered. Who is this? Second brother, it's me. Zhaodi? Well, what do you want? Tomorrow at 3 p.m., meet me at the old tea house you used to visit downtown. We need to talk. Talk about what? You. I know everything, including who the woman is, who her father is, and what she's carrying.
Zhaodi, you!
Tomorrow at 3. I'll be waiting. Or don't come, and I'll reveal everything in court on the day of the hearing. At 2:50 the next afternoon, I reached the tea house. The old district, old street, and old buildings hadn't changed. The tea house still had wooden tables, long benches, and bird cages by the door. I ordered tea and waited. At exactly 3, my second brother walked in. He looked far more worn down than before and sat across from me. Zhaodi. I said nothing and poured him tea. He picked up the cup, his hand trembling slightly. What do you want from me? I looked at his shaking hand. Second brother, are you afraid of me? You weren't afraid when you bullied me as a kid. You weren't afraid when you quietly took 8 million yuan. So why are you scared now? He lowered his head and said nothing. Her name is Zhang Wen, right? Zhang Hongwei's only daughter. You've been together almost a year and she's over 3 months pregnant. You promised to marry her, but you're too scared to tell Mom. If Mom knew you got another woman pregnant, she'd destroy you. Zhaodi, how do you know all of that? How I know doesn't matter. What matters is that Mr. Zhang came to see me. Mr. Zhang, why did he see you? He asked me to convince you to divorce. My brother froze. He asked you to persuade me? Yes. He said his daughter will hurt herself if you don't divorce, and he can't let anything happen to her. My brother's hands shook even harder.
Zhaodi, you can't!
I can't what? Now you're scared? The tea house was silent except for birds calling outside. Second brother, answer a few questions. Go ahead. Do you truly love that woman or do you just want her father's money? I truly love her. Love? What about your wife? She married you 3 years ago. Did you ever truly love her? She served your mother and endured being blamed for not having children. Do you know how that felt? She was mistreated outside, then came home and had to watch your mood. Do you know how hard her life was? You never deserved her. Zhaodi, what gives you the right to judge me? I've watched you for 26 years. Mom always favored you and Big Brother and gave you everything good. I got used to it and stopped fighting, but I couldn't stand watching you treat your wife that way. She's someone else's daughter, loved by her own parents. Why should she become your punching bag? What do you know? Do you have any idea how much pressure I'm under? Mom demands a baby every day and Lin Yan can't have one. What was I supposed to do? So you cheated? If Lin Yan couldn't have a child, you could have taken her to a doctor or discussed your options. That doesn't excuse what you did. I didn't come to convince you to divorce. Whether you do or not is none of my business. I'm here to warn you. If you lie in court or help our parents attack me, I'll expose every one of your dirty secrets. Zhaodi, you wouldn't. Try me. You'd better behave. Our parents suing me for abandonment is their problem. If you get involved, don't expect me to protect you just because we're siblings. With that, I picked up my bag and headed for the door. He called after me.
Zhaodi!
I stopped and looked back. What now? Do you really not consider us family anymore? Second brother, it isn't that I stopped accepting you. You never accepted me in the first place. I stepped out of the tea house into blinding sunlight. Then Attorney Zhao called. How did it go? I said everything I needed to say. How did he react? He's scared. Attorney Zhao, how long until court? The day after tomorrow, only 1 day left. Then tomorrow probably won't be peaceful. Sure enough, my mother called first thing the next morning. Zhaodi, what did you say to your brother? He came home, locked himself in his room, and won't answer anyone. Mom, I didn't say anything. Ask him yourself. I did, but he won't talk. Your sister-in-law says you bullied him outside. What exactly do you want, Zhaodi? Are you trying to destroy this entire family? Mom, don't cry. Your heart is weak. Keep this up and you'll end up hospitalized again. What do you mean by that? Nothing. Take care of yourself, Mom. I'll see you in court. Then I hung up. That afternoon, the doorbell rang. This time, my oldest brother's wife stood outside, looking tense. Zhaodi, can I come in and talk? I let her in and told her to sit. Zhaodi, your brother was wrong to mail that letter, but our parents make a scene every day, and he's at the end of his rope. For the sake of all these years, please don't report him. Okay? Is that the only reason you came? There's something else. How much do you know about your second brother? Some of it. Is that woman really pregnant? Why are you asking? Your oldest brother told me to ask. He said if she's truly pregnant, this is going to explode. If your mom finds out, the shock might kill her. Go back and tell him it has nothing to do with me. Second brother created this mess so he can clean it up himself. She stood looking like she wanted to say more. Zhaodi, you've really changed. I haven't changed. I just stopped putting up with it. After she left, I sat alone. Before long, Lin Xiao called. Shen Zhaodi, my sister went to file for divorce today. That quickly? She's made up her mind. She said if she waits any longer, she'll ruin the rest of her life. Did my brother agree? He doesn't dare refuse. His mistress is pregnant. He's probably thrilled to get divorced. My sister cried all night, but she said once the tears were gone, she'd be okay. She said you helped her finally see clearly. Don't thank me, she figured it out herself. I had barely hung up when an unknown number called. It was my second aunt using someone else's phone. Auntie, what's wrong? Zhaodi, your mother asked me to call. Your father is in the hospital. She wants you to come immediately. What happened to Dad? Another brain hemorrhage. It's worse this time, and he's in emergency surgery. Your mother says you need to hurry. I held the phone without speaking. Zhaodi, did you hear me? Auntie, is this real? What kind of question is that? Who would lie about something like this? Which hospital? The same one as last time, Central City Hospital. After we hung up, I called Attorney Zhao. Attorney Zhao, my father is in the hospital. For real? I don't know, my aunt called me. What are you going to do? I'm going to check, but I want you with me. Bring a voice recorder. 40 minutes later, we reached the hospital. The second my mother saw me, she rushed over and grabbed my hand. Zhaodi, thank goodness you're here. Your father. I looked at the emergency room doors. The light was still on. What did the doctor say? My oldest brother walked over. The hemorrhage is severe. The doctor says he needs surgery and the risks are high. Big brother, is this real this time? Zhaodi, what is that supposed to mean? Nothing. Mom's last hospital stay was fake, so this time I hope Dad's is real. What are you talking about? How was my last hospital stay fake? Mom, you know the answer. Shen Zhaodi, your father is fighting for his life and you still say things like that? Do you have no heart? Just then, the emergency room doors opened and a doctor stepped out. Who is the family? My mother rushed forward. All of us, doctor. How is my husband? The surgery was successful, but he needs close observation. The bleeding was extensive. We saved him, but he may have lasting complications. What kind of complications? There's a high chance of partial paralysis. We'll know more as he recovers. My mother's knees buckled and my brother caught her. I stood nearby watching, filled with an emotion I couldn't name. The father who never held me as a child, the man who favored sons his entire life, might be paralyzed. Was I supposed to feel happy? I didn't know. My sister-in-law came over and spoke softly. Zhaodi, are you okay? I'm fine. A while later, a nurse said he had been moved to the ICU and the family had to wait outside. Relatives whispered in the hallway. My oldest brother approached and stood in front of me. Xiaodi, we need to talk. About what? Dad is truly sick this time. We need to discuss his future medical and nursing expenses. You want me to pay? Not alone. The three of us should split it equally. The three of us? Did you forget that I cut ties with all of you? That was before. Dad is sick now. You can't just abandon him. One question. How much will Dad's treatment cost? We don't know yet. Probably several $100,000. Taking that out of your 16 million shouldn't be difficult. He had no answer. Then my second brother came over and stood beside him. Xiaodi, how can you be this heartless? Heartless? Where was that word when I sent money home every month? When I helped pay for Big Brother's house? When I took care of our parents through every hospital stay? Why wasn't I heartless then? My second brother had nothing to say. My mother came over, holding the wall for support. Xiaodi, I'm begging you. Your father is already like this. Can't you let the past go and give this family a fresh start? Mom, do you want me home as your daughter or as your unpaid caregiver? Do you truly miss me or do you just want my money and labor? How can you say that to your mother? Mom, you know exactly what you really want. The hallway went silent. Relatives exchanged looks, but no one spoke. Then Attorney Zhao suddenly approached me. Ms. Shen, an anonymous package just arrived at the firm. It contains documents related to your father's condition. What documents? A copy of his medical records, not from today, but from 3 months ago. 3 months ago, your father had a full physical. The report showed high blood pressure and narrowed cerebral arteries. The doctor clearly told him to be hospitalized and control his blood pressure, or he risked a brain hemorrhage. Then why didn't he stay in the hospital? The package also includes a recording of your parents talking. I took the recording from Attorney Zhao. My parents' voices filled the hallway. The doctor told you to stay. Why won't you? Stay for what? You think hospitalization is free? Which matters more, money or your life? What do you know? If I go into the hospital before we split the 16 million, the boys will demand more. If they know I'm sick, they'll insist on saving money for treatment, and then we can't get anything from Xiaodi. I need to hold on until the money is divided. Once it's settled, they can't change the deal. You're going to get yourself killed! Killed by what? I'm perfectly healthy. I can hold out a few more days. The recording ended there, but my hands wouldn't stop shaking. So that was it. He had known 3 months ago that he was at risk. Just to keep me from receiving a cent, he refused treatment until the pressure finally caused a brain hemorrhage. I returned to the hallway. My mother started toward me, but I raised a hand to stop her. Mom, I need to ask you something. What? Did Dad have a physical 3 months ago? Her expression changed instantly. I don't know. Mom, did you know Dad refused treatment just to keep me from receiving any of the money? Xiaodi, what are you talking about? Big brother, did you know Dad was diagnosed with narrowed brain arteries 3 months ago? Did you know he delayed treatment just to finish dividing the money? I didn't know. You didn't know? You're his son and you didn't know? He lowered his head and stayed silent. I looked at the whole family and laughed. I walked up to my mother. Dad risked his life for that money. And what happened? The money was divided and he collapsed. Mom, tell me, was it worth it? Xiaodi, I was wrong. I truly was. You were wrong? About what? I shouldn't have excluded you from the money. I shouldn't have played favorites. I shouldn't have. You were wrong about more than that. You and Dad never understood that a daughter is a person too. I'll contribute to his medical bills, not because I'm his daughter, but because the law still requires it. After this, never ask me to come home again. Then I left the hospital. As the elevator doors closed, I saw her leaning against the wall in the hallway, sobbing uncontrollably. As soon as we stepped outside, Attorney Zhao asked me, Ms. Shen, what now? I want to use that recording in court. You're sure? I'm sure. I had just reached the bus stop when Lin Xiao called. My sister got her divorce certificate today.
Good for her.
She said thank you. Don't thank me, she saved herself. After the call, I returned to my apartment. But only a few peaceful days passed before another text arrived. Shen Xiaodi, your father woke up. The first thing he asked was where you were. I stared at the message for a long time, then called Attorney Zhao and asked him to bring the recorder and return to the hospital with me. I knew that if I stayed away, they would use it against me at the hearing. 40 minutes later, Attorney Zhao and I reached the hospital. My father lay in bed, his face yellow and his eyes half open. I stood beside him. His lips moved. Xiaodi, he looked at me, and tears slid from the corners of his eyes. I froze. My father was crying. Xiaodi, he reached out, his trembling hand trying to take mine. That hand had held both my brothers, but never me. When I grew up, it pointed at me while he called me a worthless girl. I didn't reach back. His hand hovered for a few seconds, then slowly fell. Your father is already like this. Can't you at least let him hold your hand? Mom, all I ever wanted was one hug from Dad. Just one. I waited 26 years and he never gave me one. Now that he's sick and wants my hand, am I required to give it? Dad, I'm glad you're awake. I'll pay whatever medical support the court orders. Don't expect anything else. With that, I turned to leave. Xiaodi, I'm sorry. When I left the room, Lin Yan followed me out.
Xiaodi!
It's done? She nodded. Her eyes were red, but she was smiling. It's done. I got the certificate this morning. Congratulations. Attorney Zhao walked over. We should go. I followed him toward the elevator. Lin Yan called loudly behind me. Xiaodi, let's stay in touch. Over the next few days, I worked as usual. Attorney Zhao resolved the labor dispute. The forged evidence was exposed, and the man my brother paid to report me confessed everything. My company restored my position, and Big Brother was detained for 5 days. His wife called and begged me to drop the case. Did he think of me when he mailed the threat? Did he think of me when he got me suspended? Everyone has to answer for their own choices. The day before court, my mother texted me, "The hearing is tomorrow. Can you come see your father at the hospital?" I ignored it and turned off my phone. That evening, Attorney Zhao came over to review the evidence. Everything is ready. Mr. Zhang has also agreed to testify. Your chances are excellent. One more thing. Your second brother called me today. He said he won't testify tomorrow and will try to convince your parents to drop the case. Why? Mr. Zhang spoke to him. If he doesn't support you in court, Mr. Zhang says the marriage to his daughter is off. I leaned back on the couch and closed my eyes. Second brother, oh, second brother. The weather was beautiful on the day of the hearing. My mother and her attorney sat at the plaintiff's table. My second brother, Lin Yan, my aunt, and Mr. Zhang sat in the gallery. The judge struck the gavel. Plaintiff, state your claim. My mother's attorney stood. Our client, Wang Guilan, accuses the defendant, Shen Zhaodi, of abandoning her parents and refusing her legal duty of support. Defendant, is this true? Attorney Zhao stood and submitted the documents. This is the family separation agreement, personally signed by Shen Dehou, Wang Guilan, Shen Jianhui, and Shen Jianming. Then Attorney Zhao produced another recording. Your Honor, I have key evidence. The father's medical exam from 3 months ago and a private recording with the plaintiff. He had severe narrowing of the brain arteries and was told to enter treatment. To protect the division of 16 million yuan and deny the defendant any share, he refused care until he suffered a brain hemorrhage. The judge pressed play. My parents' voices rang clearly through the courtroom. The doctor told you to stay. Why won't you? Stay for what? Hospitals cost money. Which matters more, money or your life? What do you know? If I stay before the 16 million is divided, the boys will demand more. If they know I'm sick, they'll save money for treatment and then we can't get anything from Zhaodi. I need to hold on until the money is split. When the recording ended, the courtroom fell completely silent. I looked at my mother. You accuse me of abandonment, but do you know what that means? For 8 years, I sent money home, took you to doctors, stayed by your beds, and helped pay for both brothers. I did everything I could. What did you give me? Out of 16 million, not even 10,000. You called a married daughter water poured away. Mom, can spilled water be taken back? Zhaodi, I was wrong. No, Mom, you weren't wrong. You simply never loved me. Does the plaintiff have anything else to add? My mother's attorney opened his mouth, but no words came out. The judge looked at me. Defendant, what relief are you requesting? I'm asking for nothing. I only want to prove one thing. I didn't abandon them. They abandoned me first. Court is recessed for 30 minutes. Judgment will be delivered this afternoon. At 2 p.m., court resumed. The judge struck the gavel. The court rules as follows. In Wang Guilan versus Shen Zhaodi, the court finds that the defendant has paid long-term support since adulthood and repeatedly cared for her parents during illness. The plaintiff has not proven abandonment. The signed family separation agreement is authentic and valid. All claims are dismissed, and the plaintiff shall pay court costs. The gavel fell. I had won. My aunt applauded from the gallery. Mr. Zhang nodded, and Lin Yan smiled through red eyes. My mother sat motionless at the plaintiff's table. Outside, the sunlight was warm and bright. Attorney Zhao followed me out. How do you feel? I want a good meal, alone. Then I won't interrupt. It was a pleasure working with you. Thank you. That evening, I met Lin Xiao and Lin Yan at a small restaurant. Lin Yan had cut her hair short and looked like a completely new person. She raised her glass. Zhaodi, thank you. Don't thank me. You saved yourself. After dinner, we said goodbye outside. Lin Yan held my hand. Let's stay in touch. We're both on our own now. We can look out for each other. Later, I resigned and prepared to move to a new city, find a new job, and start over. After 26 years, I was finally going to live entirely for myself. As I packed, I found an old diary. The handwriting from when I was 16 had faded, but the words still stung. Mom yelled at me again today and said, I'm not as good as my brothers. Maybe when I make lots of money, she'll finally love me. I read the line and laughed at the foolish girl I had been. No amount of money would ever make her love me, but that was okay. From now on, loving myself would be enough. Lin Yan and Lin Xiao came to see me off at the station. Take care, Lin Xiao hugged me. You're the coolest woman I've ever met. As the train pulled away, they grew smaller on the platform. My phone buzzed with news that my father had died. I didn't reply or cry. I put the phone away and kept watching the world outside. A year later, I sat in my new home in a new city. It was small, but I had chosen every item myself. Lin Yan called to say she was pregnant and planned to raise the child alone. Lin Xiao was engaged and insisted I attend her wedding. Later, Mr. Zhang called to say my second brother had divorced again, and my mother was causing scenes every day. He asked if I could help. I said no, but reminded him that my mother feared public embarrassment more than anything. Sunlight streamed across my desk. Lin Xiao's wedding invitation still glowed on the screen. May 20th, 99, Happiness Road. Attorney Zhao eventually called with their endings. Big brother went to prison for fraud, his wife divorced him, second brother broke his leg, and my mother cared for him while her own health failed. When she was hospitalized, no one cared for her. He asked whether I wanted to visit. No, I'm doing well here. All of that is behind me now. After the call, I went inside and opened my work plan for the day. Outside, the new city was coming alive. Someone walked a dog, children played, and the past faded like a dream. When I finally woke up, the sun was shining. My father looked at me as tears slid from his eyes. I froze. My father was crying. Zhaodi. He reached out, his trembling hand trying to take mine. Over the next few days, I worked as usual. Attorney Zhao resolved the labor dispute. The forged evidence was exposed, and the man my brother paid to report me was identified. Then Attorney Zhao produced another recording. Your Honor, I have key evidence. The defendant's father's medical exam from 3 months ago, and a private recording between him and the plaintiff. I looked at my mother. You accuse me of abandonment, but do you even know what that means? At 2 p.m., court resumed. The judge struck the gavel. The court rules as follows. The faded handwriting from when I was 16 still hurt to read. Mom yelled at me again today and said, I'm not as good as my brothers. Maybe when I make lots of money, she'll finally love me.